Hi everyone, happy Thursday. Welcome to your reading lesson. Let's have a look at our work from yesterday. So we said with our questions, list four other things that the tiger drank. And if we go back in the text, we can see he drank the milk, he drank the orange juice, he drank daddy's beer, and he drank the water. Now I've had some students say to me, could I say tea, because it said he drank the tea earlier in the story. And I would say that is a true answer because it happened in the story. But remember when we're doing our comprehension questions that we're looking at exactly the text that we have for that day. So what we want to do is find our answers in that text. We don't want to just be thinking about other parts of the story because we're retrievers. We have to go in and pull it out of the text. So, yes, it's true he did drink the tea, but we're looking at what he drank when we were looking at that page. So, we've got milk, we have orange juice, we have beer, and we have water. Lovely. Question number 2, whose beer was it? So, yesterday I said look for the word beer because that's going to be your clue word. So if you look for beer, you can read around it, just like we said as our strategy. So, and all daddy's beer. Think, does that answer our question? Whose beer was it? Yes, it was daddy's beer. I had a few students say even more detail. They said Sophie's daddy's beer, which gives us a bit more detail about the story. So that's fantastic. Either one is correct though. So number 3, where did the tiger find the water? And again, water is our clue word. So we go back to the text and we see water. Let's read around it. Where is a place and all the water in the tap. So he got the water from the tap. All the in the tap is where he found it. I had another student ask me if they could put the word sink because they were using the picture. And they said, oh, it was from the sink he was drinking it. That is, I would say, half true because remember what we've said, you want to be getting the answer from the text. You want to find the answer in the text. So we want to find the word that the author uses to tell us where he got the water. Question number 4, do you think Sophie likes the tiger? Hint, look in the illustration to give you some clues. So this was an inference question. That means you get to use what you know from the story to make your own judgment. So you can say yes, or you can say no. Either one of those are correct. You just have to be able to give a reason. So from looking in the picture, I can see that Sophie's hugging the tiger's tail. I can see that she's smiling. So I would say that she probably does like the tiger. I would say yes. She does like the tiger. You can say no as long as you can give a reason for it. So giving a reason for our answer, I would say because she is hugging him and smiling. Some that I've read from other students, some students said, and this is where these questions are really fun because you get to come up with your own answers. There isn't only one correct one. I've read that a student said that that the tiger was a guest and it's fun to have visitors at your house. I've read another student say no, they don't think Sophie did like the tiger because he was a very rude guest who ate all the food in the house. So you can choose whatever reason or whatever, if you think that she liked him or if she didn't, but you have to be able to give a reason from the story. So have a little look. And if you haven't sent them in yet, please send them in because it's really fun to see what you come up with. And I will send you back some feedback as well to tell you what I think. Number 5, what did the tiger say when he was finished? So again, we said our clue word was say. So going back, then he said, and we're looking for those speech marks, thank you for my tea. I think I'd better go now. And he went. So what did the tiger say? Thank you for my tea. I think I'd better go now. And we should be able to write that, even though it's 2 sentences, we're finding and copying. So we should be able to write that straight from the text. We just copy it right out of the text because we know what he said. Number 6, then what did he do? Now this is a choosing multiple choice. So did he A, sleep over, B, play a game, or did he leave? So let's look back and see. So Thank you for my nice tea. I think I better go now. And he went. So he went, which means see, he left. Lovely. So you can pause the screen if you need to have a double check of your answers. Feel free to pause it, have a little look, make any corrections you need to, just like we do in school. Same with the second page. Lovely. So you can pause and check. Fantastic. Great. So today we're going to be applying our retrieval skills with a new text. So we're taking a break from The Tiger Who Came to Tea for the next 2 days to look at a new text that we can practice. And we'll be back to The Tiger Who Came to Tea on Monday. It might even be our last week of it because I think we're getting to the end of the book. So this text is called At the Park. And I'm going to read it through one time so that you can hear me reading it. But remember, what's really important in these reading lessons, even though this video is only 10 to 12 minutes long, we know that reading lessons take quite a long time in school because you should be pausing the video and having a go at reading this text yourself, using your sounds, looking for the words that you recognize. And the more you read it, by the second or third time you read it, you'll know a lot of those sentences or you'll recognize a lot of those words. So you'll become a faster reader too, which is those are all the things that we practice when we read at school. So first I'm going to read through it. Then I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at reading it a few times yourself. And then we'll talk through the questions and you can have a go at answering the questions. So at the park. Liz and Jill went to the park with their mother. They loved to play at the park. Liz liked to go down the slide. She went up the ladder and down the slide again and again. Jill liked to swing. She asked Liz for a push. Liz gave her a nice big push to get her going. Then Jill and Liz played tag. They ran and ran. They got very hot and went for a swim in the pool. What a great day at the park. I'm going to go back to the first page so that you can pause it and have a go at reading it by yourself. Remember, like we do in school, if you need to point using your finger underneath the words to help you track it as you read it, that's a good strategy as well. And if you see an exclamation mark or if you see a punctuation like an exclamation mark, remember that's going to be an exciting sentence. So you want to make sure that your voice sounds excited when you're reading it. So pause it and have a go. And then same with the next one. And welcome back for our questions. So for these questions, you do not need to copy all of the question. Your job is to write down number 1. And these questions are completing the sentences. So you're only writing down the first sentence in each question, but you're going to fill in the correct answer that makes the sentence make sense for the story to make it true. So Liz and Jill are A, in the same class, B, sisters, or C, too cold. 2, Liz likes to go to the zoo, go down the slide, swing for a long time. And again, you're going to find those answers when you go back to the text and they tend to come in order. Number 3, we know Liz is kind because she went to the park, gave Jill a big push on the swing, or went swimming. So how do we know that Liz is kind? Number 4, Liz and Jill both went down the slide, liked to swing. Sorry, number 2, B is like to swing. C is went for a swim. So you're completing the sentences with the right missing part of them to make it true. And then that's what you can take a picture of. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 completed sentences from the story. And that's what you can send into the email address. All right, we have some extra questions for you to answer. Who did Liz and Jill go to the park with? Who did Liz and Jill go to the park with? And I'll put numbers beside them to help you with it. So we had number 1 through 4. So we'll call this number 5. Who did Liz and Jill go to the park with? Number 6. what did Jill and Liz do at the park? So you can write a nice list. And number 7, do you like to go to the park? Do you like to go to the park? So you can say yes, or you can say no. It's your choice. But the second part of the question says why or why not. So you can say yes, or you can say no, but you want to give a reason. And we know that if a question asks us why or why not, part of our response is going to use the word because. Because is an explaining word. So if we're trying to give a reason for something, we need to use an explaining word. So yes, I like to go to the park because it has a slide and it's so much fun, and Stevie loves to get some fresh air. So those are some of my reasons. It has a slide, it's so much fun, and Stevie likes to get fresh air. So you can choose if you like to go to the park or if you don't like to go to the park, and you're going to give your reasons for it. So you have 7 questions today, lots of reading practice to do. I can't wait to see it. And if you're working with an adult, please feel free to get them to take a video of you doing your reading and sending it in, because it would be lovely to see how you're progressing with your reading at home and your reading speed. I would love to see that. And I can give you lots of feedback on it as well, and maybe some tips to help your adults at home to make it a bit easier to help you with your reading. So please send in your work. Please have a good time doing it. You're getting really, really good with your reading. I'm so proud of you, and keep up the good work. See you tomorrow.